There we go.
We're good? Well, you do the good morning.
Good morning! Speechless.
I don't need nothing to say after that. There you go. Here we are again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee with Classy, or Tea with Classy.
Morning.
We got Trevor here, Trev the Tech, the Trev, sorry, as he likes to be known. And go Raptors. Tough loss last night, but it's good to have you back. Sucks that riding season's ending, but at least basketball season's starting for me, so that's kind of a nice little thing. And hockey fans, hey, hockey fans, it's all good. Football's back. That's all fun too. So, have we got past our 15 seconds of witty bantering where I'm allowed to not swear and talk about things all classy, classy? What are we doing here?
The one thing I do have to say is I think you're forgetting to introduce another member of
Oh
this
yeah,
Coffee with
yeah,
Classy.
exactly. Well, we all gave you a little teaser last night. Mentioned we're talking about tires. So we've got the Michelin Man in the back there. So he loves us. He loves us. We sold so many damn Michelin tires. They gave us one of those. So that's
It's true,
pretty cool.
yes.
That's pretty cool.
He came
So-
to visit us personally.
This is my first time meeting him on live.
Is
I'm trying
there
not to
is
fangirl.
that fan noise okay for everybody? Let me know if you have a hard time hearing us over the fan noise, because I can unplug them. You'll be a little deflated.
Or we can get louder.
Or we can get louder. We got two guys who are loud enough. So anyway, we got Trevor on here. Trevor is one of our licensed Red Seal technicians. So we just wanted to have him sort of go over a pile of tires and what to look at. So I may as well let any questions we have too, guys, make sure that you ask a lot of questions today, because that always seems to work really, really, really well. So Haley will fire them out as we get them. And a couple things I want to add before we start here, just while people are still watching, is pop in today because we are doing your free maintenance inspections, all right? So no more of this, geez, I didn't know I needed that in the spring. Let's get this all taken care of in the fall. Beautiful day. We expect to see a lot of people in here riding. Just come on in for a ride, grab yourself a coffee. I'm sure we'll have some sort of treats on the counter or something like that for you too. But come on in, check out what the Two Fat Greeks are doing. Oh my God, it looks like they're putting in a buffet. They've got a new food truck going in. It's actually coming together really, really nice. It's a monster. It's big. They're going to be offering new things next year, crepes, their traditional menu and stuff like that. But they're going to be doing crepes, ice cream, desserts. It's going to be actually pretty cool. So
Forget Frankenstein's monster. We want the Greeks monster, man. That's what we're watching being built this Halloween season.
absolutely, it's huge. You should see it. It's cool. So come on in, check out what's going on. Store looks great. We're all ready for winter storage and stuff like that. Anyway, enough of my boring stuff, and I've got a couple other little things I want to add at the end, but I'll turn this over to Haley and Trevor, and if there's any questions that come in, Haley will know. Trevor,
Awesome.
why don't you tell us about this pile of tires you have here?
Cool. I'm going to get to the pile of tires, but the first thing I should do is give you an example of a really great tire, a good tire, just a brand new tire, right?
Yes,
So-
keep yelling too, because that
This
helps.
is what we're looking at. Boom. Getting to the tread
This
there.
tire is
This one
is it
here
Dunlop?
is a Metzler.
Metzler.
So we got a Marathon Ultra. Metzler is the brand of it, of course. Brand new tire. You see that they have all the little knobbies on it, and we see how deep the tread is here. So when we're talking about the tread, it's usually the raised section of the tire body when you're looking at the face of it. Today we have a tread depth gauge. So what we usually use this for is to record your motorcycle's tread depth, and we just keep track of it anytime you come in for a service. So today on a brand new tire, for this front tire, it would be 7/32 of an inch. And by the time we get to something that's a little bit more worn, like something like this over here, and we're doing a tread depth check, we're getting like 2/32 of an inch. So a couple.
What
of
does
cool
that
things.
mean,
So
though?
what does that mean? What we're using that as is a gauge to how much your tire's worn.
Okay.
When you saw I was using the tire tread depth gauge, I was usually going in the middle of the tire as a contact patch. Usually a tire is going to wear a lot more there than it will on the sides, but it will depend on what type of riding you're doing. I don't know if we can get this on camera, but we can see here there's some raised sections, right? As we're rolling through. So this is a tire condition that you can get. This tire here is a tire that has been changed out. I would believe that the customer went ahead and changed this because of the way it was wearing.
So it is shallow here and deeper here.
And deeper here. So you can almost say that these sections are shallow and then it goes high and then shallow and then high. This would be a condition that could be caused by low tire pressure. I know you hear us talk about it all the time, and today's a cool day because we have the opportunity to show you what that means and what would happen if you neglect your tire pressure or you forget about it. Obviously, this would be a low tire pressure scenario. If we are talking about a high tire pressure scenario, you're going to find a lot more wear in the middle and not so much on the sides. So, you know, what you want to do is go by what the spec is. The other thing that we've indicated here today, it's just a cool check you could do by yourself. On most tires, you're going to look at the sidewall. You're going to see that there's a little triangle on the sidewall. I kind of put a little bit of a red marker here to show you. What this triangle means is on the face of the tire here, they have what's called a tread wear indicator. It's a bar that's built in, and it's raised above the low portion of the carcass of the tire. So right here you see red, that's your true tread depth. And then this, of course, is the bar in the tire. This is a quick reference that anybody can do on their own tires.
So you're going to look for this part,
Yeah,
sorry?
on the side, the triangle on the side. And then you're just going to scan across, and usually you'll see a raised portion within the tread. So that's a quick way to look at it. If you start seeing that's getting flush with the worn surface of your tire and the tread, you know it's time to come in and talk to us, or time to look at a tire.
And cars have that too, right? I believe
Yes.
cars have that. So
Yeah.
we'd be familiar with that with our...
What do you call it, wear bar?
A wear bar, absolutely. So these are some examples where the wear bar has is equal to or completely gone from the tread of the tire. You know, so you know, some customers say you get the full use out of the tires. Other customers, you know, look at that as you're dancing on the line a little bit with safety.
I thought it was a little slippery.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some examples of a worn tire, and again, we see right here, this is a wear bar that is flush with
And you're looking on the side to see the indicator mark?
yeah, this indicator mark
Oh, just
here.
just a tiny one.
Yeah, and then it's gonna
Where's your finger? Oh, right there. Just the tiniest little guy.
And then right here is where we're seeing it. So that block there,
Okay.
that's all flush. Now there's one other cool tire that I did find in our pack. This is a tire that it does show wear on the surface and the contact patch, but also it has lots of wear on the side here. So this is what we see a lot of times on older tires. It's dry cracking that'll happen on the sidewall. It's something that you know, in my opinion, you should be concerned about. Your motorcycle tire does depend on that sidewall quite a bit to just for the structural integrity of the tire. And when it starts getting like that, you're starting to think about, okay, you know, is this tire can I rely on this tire with the type of riding I'm doing? So I just was happy I was able to find something like this. Unfortunately, you might buy a motorcycle. It may have sat for 5 years, and then you might look at the tread and you say,
Here's the cracking in here.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't. Sorry, I'm not holding the phone right. There's some cracking in there.
yeah. So you can have dry cracking on a tire that hasn't necessarily been worn that much from.
So how old is
riding.
this tire? Flip it over. Maybe it's on the other side. What's the age of this one? Oh, it's the other side's a better example almost, eh? There's that. I wouldn't run that, and I run some sketchy stuff.
Yeah, and a lot
don't even
of tires, you're gonna see the date code's gonna be punched into it.
Yeah, like you would think that might be
This
it.
is it seems to be an older tire, so it looks like it's a little bit harder to see the date code. But to give you an example, what we're looking for right now is the date code in which this tire was made. What it's going to be is it's going to be 4 numbers. The first 2 numbers are going to be the week that this tire was made, and then the last 2 numbers are going to be the year it was made. So on the 23rd week of 2010, that tire was made. The whole reason that we care about the date the tire was made is because we can use that date to reference when this tire expires. An industry standard for tires is usually 7 years. So after 7 years, if you still see this date, you know, if you notice this date, it's a 7-year-old tire. Maybe it doesn't have a lot of wear on it. You just need to understand that tire might not perform at its peak performance for you. Yes, you might be able to still put a lot of kilometers on it and everything like that, but you just need to understand, you know, after that much time has gone by, things have happened in the tire. It's probably dried out a bit. and it's, you know, just something to keep in mind. The other cool thing that we could talk about as well is just matching up your tires when you're getting your tires changed. A reminder that we like to match our tires front to rear with the brand.
I was looking at the Michelin Man, looking pretty sad.
Michelin Man's just chilling.
He's just like,
trying to
what?
come back.
He's like
Gonna do a
goo.
quick readout on his tire here. Here we go. He's got that 5/32 of an inch, so I would say he's closer to the brand new side of the spec. He's not at 5, kind of what would be maybe more in the middle. And I think he got a lot of kilometers. That's not bald.
The back one needs to be changed.
Okay.
Actually, it was the first. This is the first time that's ever happened. I always tell people you normally do 2 back tires to every front tire. That's actually my second front tire on that back tire. So
Wow.
Yeah, I had to change the front tire first, which is really weird. So
And the thing about tires too is sometimes it comes down to a balance, right? You might not necessarily get every single thing you want. Some people want to performance tire that's going to be really grabby and everything. You might find with a tire like that, if you do some touring with it, it might be wearing down a little bit faster. So, it's awesome when you're able to do your research. I know the staff here at the front end are very knowledgeable about the different brands of tires, and they'd probably be able to point you in the right direction if you're able to communicate what type of riding you do and all of that. And then a shout out for myself, Michelin Commander 2s. That's what I run on my bike. I really enjoy them. They're pretty awesome. I know that brand has branched out even more, and they offer different styles of Michelin Commanders. I believe they're at 3s now, which can zero in on whether you're touring or sport touring or stuff like that. So they treat me well. I know some people find that maybe they wear a little bit faster, but again, for me it's a balance, and the pros I have with those tires overshadow any of the lesser things that those tires offer.
Every brand kind of has their niche too. Continentals, you get 3-year roadside assistance free. Michelin Commanders pride themselves on you not getting grabbed in the road by tire snakes. Dunlops are a classic. People like to run those to stay true, quote unquote, to Harley Davidson, though Harley Davidson sometimes can run Pirellis on their bikes.
Harley Davidson don't stay true to nobody.
Yeah.
But that's a classic look, and I haven't had our top competitors would be the Michelin and the Dunlops, and people have a preference toward either, and I personally haven't had any kind of issue come back with either of those. But we have a ton.
And then
Avons, everything.
The last big thing, because we're talking about tires today, and
Excuse me.
you how important the tire pressure is. A reminder that almost every single, 99% of the motorcycles I deal with, they all have what your tire PSI or what the pressure should be in your tires on the motorcycle somewhere. So Harley Davidson, they will always have it somewhere on their frame. Typically, it's on the the steering neck or on the down tube. Josh's is right here. Like I just walked up to it, I could see it's.
That's my RIV sticker. But it's on my RIV sticker too.
Yeah, so we got boom, 36 psi in the front, 40 psi in the rear. I could do the same thing with the Royal Enfield. I can go and look at the. I believe a lot of them come on the belt guards, and it just shows you either kilopascals or psi. You can convert that depending on what type of pressure gauge you have, so you can get the correct reading. But it's found on your motorcycle, and don't spend the time looking at the tires because your motorcycle is going to tell you what it wants. Yeah. And I don't know, what else?
Great. Did we get any questions?
Anybody tired?
I was
yet?
so into it. Let me check. I don't think we got many questions. You were doing so well.
Just didn't stop talking.
So if I'm tire shopping, and my bike usually had a radial, and my option is for a bias tire. What is the difference between radial and bias?
So when we're talking about radial and biased, it's talking about the way that tire was constructed and how the belts are laid within the carcass of the tire. That's a really good scenario there because in that scenario, in the most basic form to put it, a bias ply is more of a basic tire design, and that's good for some cruiser bikes. At one point, a lot of touring bikes would run those. And then by the time you get to radial, you'll see those tires on similar models, but you'll also see those on motorcycles that are more of a performance motorcycle, because those radial tires are built to go to certain speeds or to be able to take certain loads and stuff like that. So for that case, it wouldn't be the best option to go to a bias tire, because the bias tire might not be able to take the potential of the motorcycle you're putting on, and it's not going to wear correctly, and it might not be the safest thing for you to do. So
Would you recommend balancing beads or traditional weights?
So usually on all the motorcycles we deal with, we're always going to balance the tire, unless it's like an off-road application where it's not as necessary. Myself, and just from the schooling I've done and my experience, I know that I prefer to balance the tire either with stick-on weights or spoke weights. I've sat down and I've listened to the theories and just the background on balancing beads. I know for some people they prefer those. I couldn't tell you for sure whether or not I know the theory works or not for those balancing beads. I think the potential for them is cool, but I just, when I use a balancing machine and I'm able to turn up the tire and the machine can tell me 0, that's what gives me confidence on that is a balanced wheel assembly. And that's not something I'm able to do with the balance beads because of the way that they work.
I know people typically prefer the beads if they have that $1,300 rim and they don't want to put the stickies on the outside and there's no other place to balance it, right? So then they opt for those internal.
Yeah, we've had that's the most popular we see in this demographic of motorcycle riders, with people who have very show-worthy rims and stuff like that, and they don't necessarily want to put weights on the outside. That's the majority of the customers I've used beads on in the past. I haven't had any of those customers come back and say they were unhappy with the performance of their machine. However, I'm not sure how much, what they're doing with that machine.
Yeah, if they're really pushing it, right? Yeah. In the car industry, Michelin's dry crack prematurely. Is this the same on bikes? So on the bikes, I'll reword that one. On the tires that you take off the rims and you exchange, do you notice that Michelin's are more dry rotted than others?
I personally don't. For me, it's the dry rotting is. I don't see it within brands. I see it more within motorcycle stories. So again, a motorcycle that's been sitting for a long period of time, the tire doesn't have a lot of miles or kilometers on it, and it's either been exposed to the sun or stuff like that. So it's
cold storage is a thing too, right?
Yeah.
You get expansion and contraction from there. So cold storage is another thing that can premature crack a tire.
If you not that you should worry if this is your situation, but if your motorcycle is parked right beside like the heater or something, if you have something like that in your garage and you have an industrial piece of equipment and it's exposed to again the same situation, different temperature variance, that's gonna affect your tire. So I personally haven't seen it myself, to answer that question.
Okay.
Within brands.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
If you're going to do a burnout with your tire, it's really, really cool. Just be aware you're going to have to clean a lot of rubber out of your fender.
And your teeth. Out of your teeth.
Your face. Funny burnout story. I had one where we were at Daytona Bike Week, and we were at the Iron Horse, and they had the burnout pit, and basically I'm right up front with the whole, I'm watching it, and this is one of my first bike events, and I'm really enjoying it the whole bit, and I see the smoke coming. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. And it was a hot, sweaty day, so I was sweating a little bit. And Charlene looks at me, and I'm like, wow, that was awesome. And I wiped my face like that, and I had black rubber all over my face. And then the funny thing is, that was the first time I shaved my head, so I also had the purple bandana on. So basically, by the end of the hot, sweaty day, I get it, and I looked like a Smurf. I had a purple head and a black, and like black all over my face, and I was like, oh geez, I hope this comes off. It all came off, as you can see, so yeah, we're all good there.
It doesn't just wipe up, it just smears all the time.
Awesome. All right, well, any more questions? If not, we'll get to the draw now and fire out questions in the meantime. This is for the $25 Classy Chassis gift card.
Let's get ready to rumble!
We're going back to that because everybody seems to like it. And again, everybody who liked, shared, or comments gets entered into this draw. So basically, we really appreciate that. This is sort of our our way of getting out there this time of year because, like I said, the weather outside has changed. All right, well, we're going to have to pick another one. He's actually a sponsor.
Oh, yeah? That one didn't come out of
There
my
we go.
sleeve.
Don't you worry. We got something special coming for you, though. That's hilarious. It's funny, he was a multiple entry. All right, here we go. And this week's winner, John Baird.
Okay.
John Baird. There you go. You got $25 to spend at Classy Chassis. Thank you again, everybody. Couple of things I just wanted to touch on here. Yes, we're doing free maintenance inspections today, so come on in. Trevor, Kenny, or Tennyson will give your motorcycle a good once-over. Make sure you're all set to put it away for spring. Again, we can't stress enough. If you need tires in the spring, you know, we know you have a ride coming up in a week, and you're going to find out your tires bald. We talked about tires today, so you can go out and check out your tires. We have pickup services for local and actually further away. We have tires in stock.
The thing about these tires, guys, is these go out of stock. It looks like a lot of tires now, but they sell. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. When people say, "Do you install tires?" That we don't. We only install tires we supply, and the reason is, I just spent a lot of money on all these tires. All right, that's one reason. Number two is we can guarantee these tires. All right, if you buy it elsewhere, we can't guarantee it. We've seen it before where, you know, it doesn't matter. If you have an issue with a tire where it comes back and it's not holding a seat, we can replace that, fix that, no problem. If we don't supply the tire, we can't send it back, right? So then basically whose fault is it? Is it a bad tire, or is it something that, Classy Chassis screwed up the tire, which we know that's not the case with these guys. So, but like I said,
bro.
And the other thing too is call Haley up. She'll hook you up with a deal. All right. So one-stop shop. All right. So we have a little saying. Well, I gotta stop saying we have a little saying, but it's just like Burger King, man. We'll do it your way. You just can't bring your own beef. Okay. So that's the best way I can describe it. But thank you again, everybody. Also, too, right now we just started it's that time of year again. So we just started our best time to buy sales event. So we've got some great incentives on motorcycles in the showroom. We have the best selection of the year. It's the best deal of the year. Don't wait till spring, because we all know what happens in spring. Stuff's hard to get, but everybody who wants to be ready for spring with the new motorcycle, just come check them out. We've got great deals on them right now, and we're going to basically send an email out for that next week. Charlene, do you have anything you would like to add? Oh, okay, she's just waiting for me.
Stop on by. Let me use my tread depth gauge on your motorcycle for free. Just let me do it.
And it looks like the weather's going to be great in our area for the next 3 days, guys, so get out and have some great rides. Any more questions before we go, Haley?
No, that looks like it's it.
All right, well, that sounds great. Well, thanks again, everybody. Hopefully this was a good one. And we'll, the other thing, too, is November 12th, we're going to do a special something. And actually, we're going to have special guests because it'll be our 2-year anniversary for Coffee with Classy. So I want to say thank you guys, because this this is another one of those things that was born out of the pandemic. And you know what? When people keep telling me how much they like it, we'll keep doing it. So appreciate everybody coming in and coming into the live chat today. And oh yeah, get that guy going again. He's just chilling. He was just chilling back there. He was just making.
I'm hanging out with him all day, man.
Absolutely.
I'm feeding him donuts later.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, we'll see everybody today. Thanks again, and hey.
Hi, Mom and
Stay
Dad.
classy. There you go. Oh, hi, Stevie. How are you? Whoa! Woo! All right, see ya.